with the analyst desk after game 2. Let's get it.
I know. You guys want your dank dubstep music, but furthermore than that, you had the sweeter music of Dave and Paro coming in with a hot, fresh, super fire analysis straight at you discussing game number 1. But we're afoot right now to the second match toffees of the evening, and so far it's been an awesome spectacle.
It was a good spectacle. What we saw were teams that were previously on the bottom performing at the top, teams that used to be at the top performing at the bottom, and the U.S. still get eliminated relatively early in the match. So hopefully that gets a little bit better for those of us watching from NA. For everybody else, I'm sure they are having a ball watching NA struggle just a little bit. So, now's a good chance, guys. Now's a good chance while we've got this 20 seconds left. Who are you supporting? That's what I want to see. Give it to us in Twitch right now. I want to know. We've got 2,000 viewers. Who are you here to watch? Who are you cheering on? Because I want to know who your favorite teams are. So let us know, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Skyline on the Observer. Boogie next to me. This is going to be fire, guys, because you know what? Game 6 in tournaments like this is where you have bottom-performing teams have to start playing for kills, and top-performing teams have to really fine-tune their strategy. So we're going to see a switch-up in the way a lot of these teams have played since the beginning of this tournament.
Exactly. Let those flags run high in the chat. Spam your favorite country indeed. We'll find out who it is. Of course, as you said, US are having a ball. It's not a big ball. It's not a proud ball, but, it's a ball there nonetheless.
It's a ball.
It's a ball.
We have a ball.
Here we look at the playing trajectory. Yeah, you got a ball. That's kudos for you. We'll let you guys play with it. In the meantime, though, we're going to be looking at these playing trajectory, and it seems to be heavily defavoring all of the western coast. So Georgia ball is not attendable as it is right now from the plane. Not even a long drop would save you. Not even a long drop will get you close to that one. You're going to have to go for vehicles. So we will see some hot super fire action onto Roshawk and down the inverted Legos, or rather the J's as we call them. We'll see teams actually make their way towards that one, as we call them in EU, of course, where we have better callouts there.
Yeah, so I call that area between Rozhok and School the motor pool, right? Because what you're going to see is a bunch of teams coming in here to the 2 garages. There's, I think it's 6 total spawns along that road, and then you have the other additional ones past Rozhok. So you can come in here and you can usually find a car. The problem with that, Boog, is that you can also get massacred in trying to accomplish this.
Or get absolutely nothing, as we see in one of the J's. You guys call it a motor pools. We usually actually keep the motors out of our pools in Europe, so that's why our pools are cleaner and not closed in. But we do see Brother in his first vehicle. He's not going to be getting this frag, and he's not going to be sticking too long, because 3T Butts found himself a nice handy place behind that tree, and Kane is going to be picking him up. And there you go. Now they're friends. Now they're going to have a bit of a race there, see who gets first to Georgia Bowl. And why wouldn't they go there? It's a fantastic place to loot. Not a lot of teams actually made their way so far. It just looks like Mista from Team Netherlands is going to be quite close to Ibiza as well, from the same team, and they're just kind of circling around. Their ROM celebrating around as well. I'm not too sure whether they're going to be choosing to stay or leave, but it looks like Mista might just have some initial fights, or no, might just take some shots at Outsider there. Half-life on him, and yep, he's putting in God's work there. He's really connecting, but he cannot find the closer.
Oh,
look at the HP.
Look how low they are. So what they were trying to do was knock them off of the 3-seater because it's so unstable. It actually worked. Everyone's off of this bike. They're down to quarter health, each of them, still looking to get run over and shot. They got the run over. This is ridiculous.
Unfortunate time here. Mista doesn't really fire and misses, and we can actually see it here. Roms is going to be getting out of his buggy and will be swapping for the shotty. Kane, I don't think he's going to be live for too long there. No. Easy frags for Team Netherlands there, as they really put on their screws against their enemies. And now they've got pretty much the entirety of Roshawk to loot for themselves, and they're going to be quite close to the circle. They're inside the circle as well. But look at this one. Team Belgium just on the other side at the puzzles.
That's hilarious. So Germany thought that Mista and his crew were also trying to head towards George, but all they were doing was slowing them down so that Mista could snipe them from the school. And Germany leaves the game because of it. So a little bit of misdirection from Abiz and his team pays off dividends, man. That was genius. I thought they were just playing around by bumping them with the cars. I didn't realize that they had a murderer on school.
Yep, there you go. Mista usually is known to drop from his team, Tiger Mafia. He is known actually to drop it to school and be very, very good at that one. This guy, he's got a lot of class. He actually doesn't need school to get that first class in. But he'll teach you a couple of things. He'll teach you a couple of
he'll give you a first class education at that school. It's not the education you want. if you understand what I mean. That said, we're going to watch
I
him.
think I understand what you mean, yes.
Exactly what I mean. Like, you don't want him to teach you a lesson at that school as he taught Germany a lesson just now. The rest of the drop's pretty broad, but you see a little bit of back and forth. Swanker's taking some shots. Spike down there all alone, some spread looting on the farm. Pachinki not heavily contested. I think Swiker's down there. He's fine. He took a little bit of a hit.
You don't want to call that one when you're when you're in Britain. Yeah, Swalker. That's gonna be Swalker from Czech Republic, not from Czechia, as we've been notified. Nobody told me about history, but it looks like it's no longer Czechia, it's Czech Republic. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Spam those flags in the chat. I know you guys love your streamers. I know Mazzarini and Spike are one of the most beloved streamers that we have currently in that chat. So yeah, spam those flags as much as you can. Lift them up to the sky, because your teams, the players that are on the server, are very, very proud to put their nation on that top leaderboard.
Yep, and don't forget, we're on a delay here, so there can be no sneak sniping, but that does mean there's a good chance that when a team's eliminated, they're in here watching their own elimination. So feel free to throw some flags out there. Raptor to Raptor inside of the apartments, taking some shots at Mista. That's classic Raptor. He has no interest in walking away. He's going to try to take a couple of free pot shots here as they've looted up the apartments. Apartment's a bit of a slow loot, but not bad if you can get a little bit of luck there to have everybody come out with 2 ARs or a sniper AR combo. But it looks like they were able to accomplish that goal. M16s and scars on pretty much everybody in the group.
Yeah, and Arky actually has an 8x to work with that M16 as well, so that's going to be that much more of a lethal weapon. Mista, he can hold off the close angle. We saw that he's got an AK in his hands, so if Team Belgium actually decide to push on him, they're not going to have an easy time actually sticking around there. Funnily enough, Team Belgium and Team Ibiza do share the same teammates for the same professional team for Team Tiger Mafia. But in here, they're no longer friends. Oh, look at this beautiful drop, though. 2 8Xs and an AWM. Though you have to be careful. This must be said, Toffees. On the AWM, you got to be careful that it's not really cold where you're playing from, because otherwise, you might have to wear a sweater and just, you're being bolt action as it is. It might be hard to hit the shots. Whoever gets the meme gets it. Don't worry, guys, if you didn't get that one.
I mean, I didn't necessarily get it. I do know that you don't wear long sleeves when you're shooting a bolt-action rifle because it can get caught in the action. I assume that was more of a joke about ninjas in pajamas potentially, but we'll leave that. Okay, all right. I don't even know anymore. This is Boogie the Meme Lord doing his meme thing, as the rest of us can only live in the world around him. Texas spread out from this team there, looting outside of school. Mista going to keep an eye on them. Profi headed up north, and we wanted to show you guys a little bit of Profi as he zooms through nature.
And the zoom he will indeed on his motorbike. He does have Paradox just hugging him close, holding him super, super nearby. You do see that they have a car 98 to work with there as well. So that's further good for them. But they're heading straight into danger. Seshko is going to be holding on to that ankle there. He's going to have that M4 to work with here as well. But he doesn't have the good shots. Only 2 that actually are fired away. And one of them actually connect. Paradox will just be dinked once. But that's going to be an easy task for him. Considering he's got a car 98, this one should be an easy one for him. But his teammate Profi, so close to getting knocked out. And it doesn't actually happen so far. So, I think these lads have put themselves in a hard spot, because this team that's coming in against them actually will have very, very good loot.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they decided to stop at that rock and drop off Paradox, but he is, they were trying to get the buggy. That makes sense now. So now all Paradox has for cover is a buggy without a tire and a tiny little rock, because he's caught from 2 sides. They do manage to get the knock on Sesko, so a nice shot there. Yuki gets the back drop on Paradox. They exchange 1 for 1. Sesko for Paradox, both trying to call for safety. Yuki with nothing but the hollow, but he's pretty good with it. Takes a few shots there, goes back down into the wheat field.
I don't think his team is going to be resible at this point in time. It does look like his enemies have a decent angle onto him. But from somewhere else, on top of Query, comes Odin Panda. And he's got some decent shots as well. That 8x M16 being put to good use there. Shots connecting left and right, but not enough for a knockout here. He's going to have to come up big if he wants to save his teammates indeed. And look at this one. It's going to be a double peak. It's going to be Profi that actually will try to get himself out of that position. But he's going to get dinked himself to 10 HP. No shots connect further down from Odin Panda. And this one will be the end of this battle.
Oh, America. Rough. All for a buggy. The American lust for more cars cost us 2 lives, but we last. We live. At Petroheads, that's exactly right. We were so concerned about our motor pool that we end up getting ourselves caught out and lose Paradox, a very good player, to the bit of a massacre. Odie Panda, they got to be happy. Thank God he was up there with the 8X, right? Otherwise, that could have actually been really bad for the opposing team, as they were knocked very spread out from each other. So not too shabby. Mouseketeer going to come forward here, peeking in towards where the U.S. is calling home.
Let's see how this one pans out.
Please
Yeah, he's got it. He actually has Yeah, for the Swiss team, he's got a 2x on a UMP. Not necessarily the gun you want to be fighting for, especially when you're in a 1v4 situation. He does have his teammates coming in here. I think Odin Panda will be picked up as well by Yuki. Let's see. Yeah, they will actually go in to pick him up. But Team US in the meantime, though, actually decides to leave on their vehicles. This might be the time for Musketeer to actually go in ham because he does have that AK. He really can put in the screws against those pesky opponents that he's got so close to him. But he decides to do the more take the more careful approach and not actually take any fire or go towards them. And it does look like US has another day to live.
Absolutely. They traveled well behind the defilade cover. They weren't able to get picked off, so that worked out okay for them. And now they will move up to the north side of the map and try to find themselves into a little bit of safety. We see some other teams crossing the bridges on both sides. Wookie Bookie and Larson locking this up. Minimit and their team going to walk right into what could be a very big massacre. Not expecting anybody to still be there.
And they're going to be crossing that one quite easily, it seems, so far. Energetic Turtle is going to be holding on to an angle. But they're actually walking straight into his crosshairs. Yeah, Energetic Turtle will have the upper hand in this situation here. It does seem like at least the element of surprise. Nope, they're just picking up that dodge.
On the bridge. This is bad, Larson.
Go ahead, yep.
They're going to turn and fire at him as they go by, and G-Thang immediately knocked out. Half of Austria knocked. The second car tries to stop and get a little bit of a play here. That's 3 down. Grubsy goes as well. Wookie very low. Minimit taking fire from Energetic Turtle on the hill. Minimit, the last man standing. Down he goes, finished off by the Turtle. These guys set one hell of a trap. Larson and Wookie on the bridge to make sure no one passed them, and Energetic Turtle hiking behind up onto the hill to make sure that nobody could stop and shoot them down. You don't see bridge camping very often anymore in competitive play, do you, Boogie? But this is how you do it if you're going to.
Yeah, the thing is that you would kind of hunt for frags, of course, and as you said, this is the game to do that. And talking about hunting for frags, it looks like Jempty's going to be getting out Icy Demon. Not an easy frag, but he does get it nonetheless. Hookstar is going to be making his way out of that one. There's no chance to res his fallen teammates, but that dodge has taken a heck of a lot of damage and still is so close to damn near explosion, and it doesn't actually occur before he spazzes out at the shot of Jempty. Super long range shot, and you can see him trying to prone and put a pose on like he wants to be painted like one of those Frenchy ladies. Not going to be happening. Somewhere else on the map, though, looks like the Netherlands are having a hard time.
Ibiza in a bit of a fight out. Cutastic's going to get rezzed here as Rom's missed on Ibiza, holding down the complex. Rom's looking for a flank as he slowly moves around the outside here. Cud is knocked back immediately. Cloud down as well. Both players are going to go down here as it looks like Chris is going to be able to take them from the outside.
I don't know if Xers is going to have a chance at the refrags here. The better option would be to get the crap out, but Team Netherlands already know where he is. That was a beautiful execution by them, and we'll see Team Estonia left with one more member, but that member has some nades, and he throws him straight in. He gets spotted now by Ibiza, so it's not going to be easy time for him to actually get out of this one here. He eats up a lot of the damage there from that counter frag grenade, and now using a first aid kit allows Ibiza to step in further down. This might be at the end of him, and look at this one. Xpress knows exactly what is going on. He's heard his Zeddy become close, but Roms puts in the final screw in Estonia's coffin and takes him out of the game.
That was a great example of execution and speed, all right? What they did is they knew that grenade got the hit. They knew he had no choice but to heal, so they moved Ibiza forward while the two others on his team flicked out to the sides. So Ibiza forces him out with a faked rotation, and he's picked off immediately by Roms. Had he gone the other way, he would have hit the same fate. So it was a really good, clean execution by those three players to capitalize on the value of that grenade. That's what I love to see out of these teams.
Let's see what these boys are going to be finding themselves from that crate. It does look like that. Guess he's going to be the first one to take that one from the team. And as we know, it doesn't really matter whether or not you're in competitive game. If you're first at the crate, you're going to be picking it up. Lithuania is the ones that are actually going for it. We'll find out what they get in the meantime, though. We do see Team France trying to make their way across the bridge. And this is a very dangerous bridge to be in. Look at Team Sweden destroying them one by one, and it doesn't seem like Team France wants to push on that bridge further down. Monkey has an angle in his Harry Potter tower, but Hollow's eaten up a heck of a lot of shots, and he had to leave his buggy out in the open. Not too sure what that did happen.
Tires.
The Monkey Lesinge, can he actually find any kind of closers? No, look at him. Shoot. He's got 5 HP to work with here, and his teammates are nowhere close. Look at Damien already making his way out, trying a different perspective. Looks like Sweden.
France got pinned on the bridge. Turned around, tried to get away. I don't know if what you didn't see was I think Dre and his boys took out both of the back tires on that buggy. So he had no choice but to jump out and try to run for the tower. And now they're just stuck there. That cube, a really great location to hold down. Jump over to, it looks like we got a little bit of a fight here on the side. We got Survivor, T-Bone, and the boys from the UK going to be looking at the guys getting themselves back from that crate, but they're taking fire from the outside. We got to be a little bit careful here. They're getting shot from Moody. Jeez, Moody with a red dot.
And an AK in his hands, he's going to try and dink down the tires on the UAZ, and that he does indeed. It works out. It works out for himself. So now all he has to do is back away. There's no need to actually further down try and peek into Fake and the rest of the UK crew, who are now going to have to make their way, it seems, in the water. But they're pretty close to Kazanezis, and they have spotted them indeed, so they're going to be busy with that battle there. I'm not too sure if Kaz will have a decent chance to get back onto the land there. After they went for that crate drop, and understandably so, they didn't actually have a team behind them now. Team Lithuania, well, they're caught between a rock and a hard place, and Kaz is eating up a lot of bullets.
Yeah, stuck between a water and a bullet place because they just can't. He can't go under or he dies. He can't swim on top or he gets nuked in the head. The grenades were just too strong. They got 1 kill off of that already, which is impressive. And remember, this won't be a factor when the new patch comes out because we do get to have water bullet penetration soon. Play the fanfare, boys and girls, because that means we get to see the end of this sort of swim and pray tactic mentality. Meanwhile, Severity locked up very strongly by Longo, Winghaven, and his crew. Jempty and theirs trying to fight their way in from the red houses. Prosoko, Italy, the guys who won the last game are coming in right now, but they could be coming into a slaughterhouse as they're going to be driving between 2 teams who would love nothing more than to hurt them after the last win.
Yes, indeed. Prolosko trying to make his way through it all, and he does seem to do a perfect job at that, but now he's heading straight into Team Netherlands there. Italy not having an easy time trying to push in there with the scout. The scout peeked in from multiple angles here. It looks like Team UK will have a shot at him as well, but they're not firing any so far. They're busy still trying to keep Lithuania into the water there. Nope, now they're taking shots, and they're connecting as well. Prolosko now finally decides to stop, and this is a good moment to do just that. Looks like his team is actually coming in from the same spot, and I'm not too sure if Prolosko did he speak any Italian? Because he should have relayed the information to his teammates. Maybe he's just memeing them at this point in time, because Power is powering through it.
He is. He called where they were. They're trying to use the defilade. You can see sliding left to right inside a defilade cover to try and find their way to him. That said, this Jeep's taking a lot of fire from Team UK. You saw already Power down. We're going to see the push through now from Edu, but he's going to be exposed to Team UK in about 3, 2. Yep, there it is. The first shot off. He tries to weave his way around, but that is an unwieldy Jeep. Will he make it? I mean, if they can at least get 2 players up to that spot, they're in a good position.
It is absolutely smoking. If Team UK would put just a couple of shots onto that UAZ, it would be the end of it. But Edukos does manage to grab the, I suppose the hand of his the hand of his teammate, and they're going to be quite safe where they are right now. But that UAZ is definitely out of bounds. I don't think they should. I don't think they should be even stopping it to try and drive it away. That one should be left as it is. And there's a drop here, and this looks like Team Italy could get a chance at this one. The only team that's beating them is Team UK on their east. They could go for it because they have some cover for the trees. But the importance of it all is, of course, what's going to be inside there. And it's an M249. If there weren't enough cars damaged on the server, now there's further chance to do just that, because it's definitely not easy driving by someone that's wielding that weapon.
M249, the car killer, can completely obliterate an entire team in one fell swoop. And if that circle continues to be in this area, that's going to be a very powerful gun for whoever can get their hands on it. But the question is, who's willing to take that risk? Because we have 3 different groups all sort of staring at each other across that open region. So nobody going to try to sneak out there just yet. Other things developing is we've got Energetic Turtle joining Larson and Wookie over on the coast. They're going to have a long push ahead of them as they have to go through the Severity team, who has been very effective in gatekeeping this entire region. So they're going to park and wait for the circle. As we got that last 10 seconds of developing circle time, we'll see the kill counters sort of wane off for just a moment, because this is where you build your next transition. You take some pot shots, you maybe still snipe, but you know they're about to get in cars. We're going to utilize the frame rate drop, and we're going to make a big rotation.
Yes, indeed. And we will yet to see if they actually come through with this push here. It does look like the next circle does show it itself, and it's not a crafty one, of course, for most of the teams. Most of the teams are on the outside. The third circle, you must know this in competitive PUBG, is the one that restricts the most, is the one that forces most of the positions. It's actually the one that makes it more entertaining for the viewers, because so many teams that have to come out from their current positions will have to engage in battles as they come into the next one here. And we do see Team US of...
USA. All right, so they're going to try to get into this, and I can cheer because it's been such a bad day for these guys.
Yeah, man, they deserve
some encouragement as they try to get into the inside here. As they make the rotation around, they're going to come up against Mousquetaire and Caballero. Are going to be waiting for them. Here's shots at Wookie, Bookie, and his boys as they try to get in. Look at these horde of cars. Everyone drives at the same time, but Wookie's going to run into UK if they don't run into Moody and his crew first. They're trying to drive to the beach, but it's going to be trouble. As you're going to see, they're going to take a lot of fire from all sides as they make this push in.
Yeah, Team Canada really putting on the screws, but Team Canada is going to have to move in on themselves here. Ooh, Spain are now heading straight into UK, and they're actually getting fired on by another team. Team Netherlands is actually firing against them, but they do stop next to Team UK, and it's not an easy place to stop. Winkhaven knocked out, and it's going to be Longo to fall next. Choi still into this one. I haven't yet seen Cole Dementa, whether or not he's still alive into the game. Yes, he is. He's going to be grouping up with Troy, finding a nicer, cleaner, safer spot to try and defend for him, as they are now only two. Rest of them, well, rest in pieces.
49 alive in a very small circle. That rotation is going to drop down. We'll see about 27 in the next minute or so. UK played the doppelganger. They sat back. They kept it quiet. They popped out when their opponents pulled in, and they got 2 easy kills for their trouble. So well executed there. Cole Dementa and Choi do make it through. They get themselves a little shack in the middle. They can hide out. But meanwhile, Energetic Turtle getting absolutely massacred. Larson knocked out of his car. Turtle trying to get back for some heals. Larson going to try to pick him up, but that's the end of that. The spray is just too strong. Larson caught in really a killing fields. Not much he can do, but maybe run for the Dacia and just try to drive away if the tires are still intact. I don't know if they are or not. If they aren't intact, then Larson's just going to have to sort of submit himself to hanging out here and hoping for the best.
Do you think Larson's the submitting time? I really don't think so. He's definitely not the submitting type, rather not the time.
Like, where do you run to? You sort of just have to hope another team pushes the guy shooting you, and then maybe you get a chance to get out. So here he is. He's getting pushed already from Moody. Moody, though, that's what I'm talking about. He takes fire from UK. That's his only upside for Larson is he has a definitely covered from the UK, so he can try to play the bait role until these guys move. And now that they're moving, maybe he gets out.
There's actually a far away shot from Samty from Finland.
Oh, wow.
Actually taking him down. Yeah, that's the one. And Team Finland are actually not stopping with their push. Here they connect so many shots against Belgium. You do see that Raptor has been knocked out by GMT, and they're continuing their push. 1 HP onto THE. He's going to be forced to res. But oh my god, clean, crisp shots coming in with those SKSs. And Lenso does the dirty deed to knock out and kill Texas out of this one here. Team Belgium, I think they only have 1 member left, and THX actually had 1 HP to work with here, so it's not an easy time for them. But in the meantime, somewhere else on the map, it looks like Finland are going to be in a hard spot themselves, because Canada are really close to them.
Nice. What was that from Ibiza? Ibiza took him out, so now it's Mixing going to come around to try and get the res, but he's getting shot from the other side. Look at Ibiza with the cracked door peek as he slides around, shoots him trying to get him underneath the Jeep there. They just blow the Jeep up.
Beep, beep, I'm a needle on the Jeep. He is putting on the screws against that team. Ibiza, one of the best mechanically abled players in the whole world, and I don't say that lightly. I've been watching a heck of a lot of PUBG. Yeah. I know what I'm talking about. He's a very talented man. Now, it does look like 2 teammates are left from Team Belgium. It looks like Arky will be resing his teammate, his IGL Raptor. And they will have themselves an F-Boy Shack to work with as well. THZ as well is going to be coming in from behind, so they only lost Texas in that battle. But as we see the next circle approach, they're actually going to have an easy time going in there. Someone else that's already trying to make an established position in the next circle is going to be Larson from Team Denmark. He's going to be stopping by a rock here, and it's a good spot to stop by. Currently, there is 1 team to his north, but his teammates can actually come here safely, and they can defend from this position. It's a perfect place to be in.
So it takes fire. He blows it up himself so that he can sort of lock himself in that spot. And Larson did exactly what we talked about earlier. He waited for the forced movement from his opponents, got out of his defilades in the Dacia, and drove to a safe spot. So he knew he could just stay safe. He doesn't, and like you said, not a passive player, but sometimes when we talk about PUBG, this isn't like CSGO where aggression is always rewarded. Sometimes you got to know when to wait a second to gain a couple of places in a better position. Meanwhile, Odie taking some shots here. We see the transition. America still trying to find a place to call home as they wander across this region, still with 3 strong, but taking shots from all sides. This is Hetcher for FlyQ. He comes in. Looks like they're going to find a decent spot here, though Caballero looking at him. Yep, there you go.
Talking about talented players and mechanically abled ones, Hetcher again, another one that really knows how to fire off his weapons and really knows his weapons down to a tat. And it looks like they will have themselves a little piece of the pie there in the next fight. So for the moment, they're going to be quite safe as we look at them. Manzarini's stuck somewhere inside the map, it looks like here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's actually in the tunnels that are in the north side. Here's a hidden tunnel. I actually thought he was on the outside of the map. I missed the entrance of that one. But we do see so many teams actually trying to make their way in as this circle will be strangling quite soon. And there's another one there. Musketeer is going to be scouted in for his team. And it looks like they're approaching straight into Norway.
Absolutely. One of the least utilized tunnels in the game. A lot of players don't even know about it, to be honest. Obviously, at this level, we all do. But it's one of those things that is a great sneaky place if you are by yourself and need to hold on just a little bit longer. Yuki could be in some trouble here. James coming up over the hill. He sees Mouseketeer and Yuki wants to open fire. Yuki driving around the car for some reason is knocked out immediately. Mouseketeer tries to go for the peek, but realizes it's James shooting at him. Probably not want to get involved there. Gets caught from the other side. The flanky play. Look at the push. Now Odie trying to come uphill to help out. But this is just a really strong play by 8C and his crew.
The Swiss have no easy time right now, and it looks like Musketeer will have himself 1 HP to work with here, but look at Fraser coming in. He's not going to be actually connecting his shots because Musketeer is quick to get out, but from somewhere else, it's going to be Miguel from Team Portugal that actually gets him out of this one here, and Odom Panda is quite close to his enemies. Is he going to be going in there? No, he's not. He decides with his own teammate to try and find another spot to fight from, because this one, if they go into this fight here, it would be absolute madness. Will they be stopping? If they stop this boogie, it's surefire suicide.
Absolutely. So they got to make that play. It was good to kind of relocate themselves here. As you see their team's all trying to move in. They take a couple of pot shots. Getting caught from behind again. James actually goes down this time. 8C coming over the hill is going to get vision on him. So lays down, takes a great shot with a quick crouch. And I don't know if they'll have time to get James up. They get the circle, so they're going to have time. They should be able to get the res on James. He's inside the blue.
Yeah, and Spike now is the only one actually staying alive for Czech Republic. It looks like Oko has been knocked out. No chance for him to get actually rest. Spike actually trying to make some sort of a play here. I think he's got a car behind that he might be working out here. In the meantime, though, we see as the next white settles in, not a lot of the teams are in it, so we will see a lot of movement, a lot of action. A lot of teams actually get dinked down from that 35 number that you see on the top right.
He's just
it's going to be coming
right
in much slower, but Ibiza coming out of his vehicle here in an unfortunate place, and it's going to be Odin Panda that peekaboos and, well, puts a stop to it. No Christmas present in that little F-boy shack, Ibiza. We're sorry.
Be as good a mechanic as you want, but if you don't have the toll booth, they'll take you out. Sir Dre with some nice shots from range. Gets a 1, gets a 2. Finally kills Damon and wipes him off the map. Now, we got a couple of interesting things. U.S. going to have to push through Portugal to get to the circle. We got a lot of teams trying to move in right now. Actually, Portugal going to make the first move as they push up towards the compound. They don't know about the hiding man inside. We'll see what happens as they choose to go down here towards Maz. It's the last man standing for his team. They're getting sprayed from below. Maz got 2. Wants to try to make it 3, but they can still res, okay? So that's the problem with Maz in his early peak, is that he knows he instead of being aggressive, he's allowing them to res each other, but he's got the car parked there at the base.
On the upside, Czech Republic only have 1 member left, and that's Mazzarini, right? So Portugal pushing in like that and actually getting scared off from that tunnel might give Mazzarini some sort of a breather. They might actually get out of that place altogether and just kind of forget about Mazzarini because they don't know how many people are in that tunnel. So that's a good side onto it. We see Mista on the right-hand corner there from Team Netherlands actually being knocked out. It does look like he's in a fight with the Spaniards here, but somewhere else on the map, it does look like Jemty is also into a bit of a battle there. Jemty playing, of course, as we all know it, and we all know have grown to love, Team Finland. Torille Tavatan for the boys. Can you say that, Tafis? Torille Tavatan.
Torille Tavatan.
Very good.
I don't know what that means. I hope it wasn't cussing, and if it was, that's fine, because we understood it anyway. That said, Sweden uphill with some good shots down here on Jemty. Jemty stuck in a tough position. Really good. The backpack shot. There it is. Jemty knocked at the back. He goes around the side. Didn't realize where he was getting shot from. He goes down. Mixie sees him go. Has a little bit of frustration and tries to get to a tree. He goes down as well. Hacks it. Just taking him apart. Hacking him to pieces. And Alonso down below, the last man there. I think he's the last man on the team. Still up and able to res. But he still isn't really sure where he's taking shots from because there are so many people. 24 alive in this tiny circle.
Yeah, Silenzo knows what's up, but he's going to try and make his way out of that one. Someone that will not is going to be Larson, taken out by Real. And as the circle draws in closer, the team's still on the outside here. Raptor finally making his way with THZ coming into it. Fuzzface holding in from a shack, trying to hold off the push from Belgium here. Looks like Raptor has taken a lot of damage here. Fuzzface wants to move in and get the closing kill, and he might just have a chance at that. Both of the players are actually bundled up kind of close together, and as Fuzzface approaches, he might just spot that snack. That sneaky snack is going to be taken out of the game indeed. Fuzzface will put an end to Team Belgium.
He crushes the Serpent with his heel. They've got 4 alive. They're in a good position. Hacks it here in the middle of the circle, taking some shots. Dre right next to him as they sort of lock out the area. They've got a car fort. They've got some tree cover. They've got centralized circle, and they're happy to use it as they're spread out across this map very cleanly. 8C James across the way trying to take some shots at them. But I love the way that they've lined up this defensive play. Sweden going to be hard to invade.
Yes, indeed. Nicola now taking shots from Sweden, but they do have the cover of the UAZ, so that will come in handy. And finally, James showing off the competitive side of PUBG, using smokes late game, very, very powerful tool that will make his team have an easier cross into the circle there. But Fuzzface is going to be greeting him there, and he's got a scar just to say hello. Let's see if he's going to be in the Christmas spirit himself, or if he's going to be taking shots. In the meantime, though, we saw for a moment that Team Portugal actually did not leave Mazzarini, so the Czech Republic are going to be a bit strangled in, a bit harder to come out, as he's the only guy left alive for that one. We'll see how that one pans out. In the meantime, though, Fuzzface, well, he's going to have to greet some new neighbors because they're making their way down the hill.
Ooh, AC almost gets him with that headshot. Fuzz has to go into the shack, but he's okay with that as he sits right there outside of the car. In the blue, AC gets picked off. Nice knock there to get him down from Hacks. That control position that Sweden finds themselves in. They're ranked 19, but after this game, they may be a lot higher because they are playing out of their minds right now.
Absolutely, Fuzzface still putting in the shots, and he makes them count as well. They're knocking out James, and that makes his team have an easier task at that one. Here's the team that pushes in late. The Brit boys have joined the party, and they're trying to rejoin the European ranks, but it doesn't really work for them. They're getting knocked out left and right there. Nicola with 1 HP actually manages to take Rails down, and that's just going to be T-Bone, I believe. Yeah, it's just T-Bone that is left for Team UK, and they're going to be really, really pushed in hard right now by the full squad of Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden's just in such a good spread position. They're covering the entire entrance point to that area. They knock out UK. They saw the ghillie suit. They eliminate immediately from the potential match. We're down to 7 players all of a sudden. Miguel, look at this. Trying to play the spoiler. Sees Hacks. Fuzz coming up on the other side, though.
He's got no idea, Miguel, that Fuzzface is so close. He might just say, "Ay caralho," right now, because Haxeri will be putting his shutbular straight in his face. So that's another team wiped out. It's going to be Portugal out of the game here. Still a very, very good chance for Team Sweden as they do move forward here. And the last man standing on the other side, Enzo Lenzo, very, very solely sole survivor. And the name seems fitting at this point.
Yeah, so Sweden versus Finland, 4 versus 1. And Solenzo's got to try to make this happen. He's going to wait for a second here. He's got 23 till the circle moves. Basically, what he's going to do is try to verify that he gets second place. They don't know if it's for sure all of Sweden alive. So what he may even just commit to doing a heal strat here, try to buy himself a little bit of extra time in an easy second. You can't blame him for that in the 6th game, right? Because finding those points, getting a second place or finish over a third is valuable if you can see that happen. He saw no kills. He knows the circle's coming in. So now we'll probably see him start to push forward. But Sweden will very easily take him out as he comes forward here. They know exactly where he is.
Yeah, exactly. Fuzzface kind of holding on to the angle there. Hack said he wants to make sure that they're not getting side flanked in, and Solenzo will dare to actually move forward, and he kind of has to do just that. But now he's eating up a lot of damage, and Hack said he moves forward. I don't think he's going to be needed in this duel. Yes, he will. With the backstab there, finds the GG and the chicken dinner indeed for Team Sweden, coming out on top with plenty of kills, just 2 away for Hack City to call it double digits, and that's a fantastic effort from the Svenska lads. Beautiful, beautiful work.
Haxetti wields that AR like a machete as he just cuts through his opponents. The team coming out way on top. Sweden finishes with 4 alive, takes first place, racks up, I'm bad at math, but I'm going to say a copious amount
Can
of
you not
kills.
do quick maths?
No, it's 15, it's 19. I was just playing around. So they get 19 kills, though. That's an insane amount of kills to take down here. And first place. So Sweden, who was already doing pretty well in this tournament, is going to move themselves way up the leaderboards. And with us today to talk a little bit more about the difficulty and the challenges of climbing that leaderboard is our desk, Porosaurus and Mustache Dave. Gentlemen, tell us, how much is a game like that going to help these guys set themselves up for the rest of this tournament?
Well, I got to say, we know a lot about climbing, and we are going to have to do a lot of climbing on the part of the U.S. As you know, look, I know we're supposed to be objective, Dave, right? But we're USA fanboys for sure, right?
USA
with me?
Man,
Yeah.
I'm here. I got my USA bandana on. I got my fanny pack. I got it going on. I got my boots on, my little cut off jeans. You know, I'm ready to go. I'm here.
So look, we only had to give you 18 non-North American teams for you guys to really just finally come and beat us. But you know, whatever. But look, let's not talk about the USA right now. The USA, we'll talk about them in a minute. But let's talk about Sweden. What Sweden with 19 kills?
Yeah,
finishing
that's
the game
crazy.
with all 4 players. I mean, can I get some Pog champs in the chat for that? Hexetti with 8 kills. I mean, they found their way into that little defilade, that hillside, and I mean, obviously they got circle favor, right? Of course they got circle favor, but they
Mm,
protected the position that they had so well. They were getting shots, and not just getting shots onto people, they were getting downs and they were getting kills, and that's what made the difference, I think, in this game.
I mean, definitely sponsored by IKEA themselves, the Swedish meatballs in the house now. I love that store. I love the furniture. But the 19 kills, they must be sitting on those IKEA chairs because these guys are crazy and much deserved because going into this game, they're sitting at number 19 on the leaderboard. So these points, along with the first place 32 points, it's just going to bump them up so much higher than what you were. And then second place, of course, was Finland, and then third place Portugal. But one person in particular, I just want to maybe briefly talk about. Mazzarini, I believe is his name, from Czech Republic. Mazzarini.
Oh, Manzarini.
I loved his positioning, and you know what? He did die outside of the play zone, but he was able to protect that little cave he was in, that tunnel. You know, anyone who came walking in got shot right in the face. He was able to secure his squad the number 5th place right there. And if you can look right now, 5th place is 13 points. So that's definitely going to help him out.
Protecting that hole like a friggin' aggressive hobbit. I mean, just don't come into my hole in the. Well, Manzarini doing a great job, but let's talk about so he protected his hole from the team of Portugal, right? So Portugal coming in, Portugal was also the ones that were kind of keeping the U.S. from moving in any earlier into that 4th circle, right? They had them pinned on the cliff side. So Portugal pushing in, running to Manzarini. They get 2 of their own players down. They were able to get the res on it, and somewhere in the action of the next movement phase, they lost 2 more players, and we're left with only Miguel. And Miguel doing an amazing job at just being that sneaky snake, being that ninja, being that creeper that got to the edge of the circle, hiding behind trees, managing to get his team into 3rd place, right? But Portugal, before this game, going into this game, was in 2nd place. And if you remember, Austria, our 1st place team, got wiped very, very early by Denmark on that bridge camp. And by the way, let's talk about bridge camping in 2017. Lol.
2017
but
bridge camp.
It worked really well for him. And now Austria might have lost their 1st place positioning here, with Portugal coming in with that hot 3rd place finish.
I mean, I want to say the bridge camp worked and then it didn't at the same time. I mean, yes, that was a very important wipeout very early on for the leaderboards themselves. But for Denmark, they were taking that fight. They were split. They were also in the blue. Yes, it was the 1st circle, but the circle was so far. It was as northwest as it could possibly be, and they were all the way at military base. So I'm not so sure taking that fight early on was typically the smartest play they could have done. But taking out Austria, definitely much respect, much props go to them, because that is the squad to be hunting down, if you had to ask me.
No, absolutely. Denmark doing the entire server a favor by taking out Austria pretty early in that bridge game, and they were able to get in. I mean, Denmark. I can't see where they ended up finishing up. We'll have the scores up very, very shortly. But I mean, that was a worthwhile fight to take. And I mean, they needed the vehicles. They got all the vehicles they could possibly have ever wanted. So Austria getting taken out is a huge deal. So, and then another, I think we ended up seeing Ibiza getting a dirty wipe on Estonia early
the
on.
rematch. Rematch from game 1 for sure. Yep.
I mean, it was just they like, I think it was I believe it was Toffees that was saying they hit that grenade. As soon as they hit that grenade, I mean, you're talking the entire team just collapsing on that position that Estonia was holding, and just making sure they got the finish, making sure they got the kills. There was no, well, let me just creep around and see if I can get a safe angle. No, screw that. They ran in there with all guns blazing, full auto on, and took out that team as quickly as they could. And you got to appreciate a team that can make that kind of decision making, that quick decision making, and the entire team basically follows up. You got to assume that is a extremely strong IGL right there. That people want to follow.
You know what? I think they saw who they knocked out, right? And it just went red. It just went red, and they're like, we need to get these guys because game one they did have the reverse rules, and Estonia did wipe out the Netherlands. But yeah, definitely being able to redeem themselves, represent their country strong. Now, I think we have a couple more moments here. Let's talk about these circle strats going on. We're going to go live in 45 seconds, but we see a lot of edge strat going on. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's just when you look at the circles have been so weird. I mean, this last game, how often do you see a northwestern circle? I mean, you don't ever assume that that's going to be the place that it goes because it's just so rare. So they just kind of end up making their way in and don't want to center up as early as they possibly can because you just have no idea. You have no information about the lay of the land right there. So you just kind of, I guess, slowly make your way in. You might end up getting in a fight on the edge of the circle where everybody else is, and you just don't want to. You want to try to get the kills there. You want to try to get the points. So I don't know. I think these teams are finding fights that they're liking on the edge, and they're just taking them and trying to get these kills.
I mean, talking about edge strat, we saw around circle 2 or 3. I was looking at Team Italy. They were all the way on the ridge line up there in the north. They pretty much had the circle favor at least 3 circles in a row. They were looking extremely well. And then on top of that, they had a crate drop right in front of them. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was the 4th or the 5th circle that just continued to force all these players just to get into even closer quarters with not many good positionings to take up. But we do have our scoreboards updated, so we're going to toss those up. Let's see. You want to do us the honors and repeat kind of what you did game 1, Desk, and let's go over these scoreboards.
Well, I got to say, I'm a little bit surprised. I guess Austria really holding on death grip onto that first place position, but it's a lot smaller of a lead now. It's they're at 135 points. Portugal coming in second with 113. So Portugal still within range, but did not manage to overtake that first place spot, which is kind of surprising to me.
Let's see. I'm using a calculator. That is 22. So they're slowly but surely chipping away at that lead. Before this game, it was 43. So they're definitely making an attempt. And if Austria would have, another game similar to this last one, Portugal looking pretty good, if you ask me.
No, absolutely. Well, they got to also consider the fact that, while they're chasing Austria, they've got Switzerland and Finland right behind them, nipping at their heels, both sitting with 94 points in 3rd and 4th place. Finland with, I think, 7 more kills than Switzerland right now, but they are all right on top of each other. And let's talk about just a great day the UK is having, just jumping all the way back up into 5th place. Canada making it now to the top 10 as well. Italy, France, Belgium, Sweden, all these guys rounding out the top 10. We're still looking for that big top finish from the Netherlands and Denmark. They still are leading, sitting really, really high in the kill counts. Those two are leading our kill count, actually, with 35 and 34, respectively, but still only sitting in 13th and 12th place. So, I mean, what do these guys got to do to get that win, to get that top 5, to get that top 3?
I mean, just take a simple, page out of Mazzarini's book and just go for that insurance policy. I mean, like you said, Italy also is number 3 on team kill count, but they are sitting at the 6th place. And Washout, he's actually leading the individual kill count leaderboard right now at 16. So he's definitely putting in work today. But like we said, yes, kills, they definitely matter, as we just saw Sweden securing themselves 19 points alone in kills. But at the end of the day, the points is in the leaderboards, in the placements. The higher, the longer you last, the longer you survive, the more points you get. So definitely, 2 games left. If you're really down at the bottom, even in the middle, such as Canada, France, Italy, just maybe go for that 3-1 split. Have one guy strictly insurance. Give them all your gas cans. Give them a boat. Let them go out there, enjoy life, go fishing, have a good time, and have the 3 members on the mainland putting in the work, trying to get the kills. Because honestly, we need some insurance policies. I want to see more. It worked out for Mazzarini, placing 5th place right there. I think that's a good sign.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we are getting our next game lobby loaded up as we speak. We're about to take you in very, very soon. But before we do, we're just going to take a really quick break. But stick around. We are going to get started up here very, very shortly. We'll see you soon.